Again, today's top stories. London has endured another night of German bombing. Most damage was concentrated in the East End. The RAF has struck enemy aerodromes in Le Havre and the Low Countries. In Russia, further German losses are reported around Leningrad. In Asia, the American fortress at Corregidor is still defiant, but Japanese forces are reported nearing the Burmese oil fields. And that concludes the news summary. We now return you to our music program.
See here, this isn't about your dedication. Pringle certainly attests to your loyalty. No, your dismissal stems from the Titanic mission. That failure can no longer be ignored. Especially now. I am sorry, but someone must shoulder the blame. The service, you understand. We can't be held responsible. The past, forever locked in regret. But what if the past could be changed? "30 years have come and gone since the night that saw the end of the world, my world. The service needed someone on the Titanic. They chose me. I was to wait for a signal from my contact, so I remained in my cabin. I left only once Georgia was on board. And that's when it came. There'd be no second chance. It was Sunday, April 14th. Too late, you see, for the Titanic, for me. What if I'd met with my contact, prevented disaster? What if the past could be changed? What then?
Good evening. I am Smethels, your steward, and, if I may say so, it is good to see you up and about. You've been in your cabin the whole voyage. A touch of the mal de mer, was it? Seasickness can be quite unpleasant, especially if it's one's first crossing. Since you haven't been out of your cabin, May I instruct you on how to get assistance while on board the Titanic? Very well. Your correspondence. 2,200 on board, and they all want messages delivered promptly. Even if it is 1912, and the Titanic, the most advanced means of sea conveyance ever devised, I still have only 2 hands. Here, a map of the ship for you. Compliments of the White Star Line. I have taken the liberty of indicating your cabin, C-73. Of course, on a Sunday evening at this hour, there won't be many people out. Will there be anything else? A young lady. A most insistent young lady. Have you unpacked? You'll find your trunk key in your bag on the bed. And remember your personal effects, your watch and bag. If you require additional assistance, please ring the bell by the door. Good night.
His Majesty's government has assigned an agent of the Crown to rendezvous with you on board the Titanic. Remain in your cabin until your contact gives you further instructions. After completion of all your assignments on board, book passage to remain on the ship and return to Southampton for your next assignment. For a more in-depth report of the international situation in the spring of 1912, please review the white paper included as part of this briefing. That is all. His Majesty's government has assigned an agent of the Crown to...
It's about time. You're late. Another 5 minutes and I'd have cancelled your mission. Yes, I'm Pringle. Penny Pringle. From the Bureau of Secret Service. You didn't think they'd plunk you down on this bucket of bolts and millionaires alone, did you? Look at this. A German colonel named Zeitel. He's inspecting their embassies in Havana, Washington, and Mexico City. We know better. 10 days ago, the Bureau got word that Zeitel has in his possession a priceless copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, stolen 2 months ago in Paris after its purchase by a very highly placed member of His Majesty's government. The Rubaiyat's a book, a collection of medieval Persian poetry, a passion of his lordship's. Poetry. Persians. The German High Command must think it's important enough to have their top man smuggle the lot on board. It's your job to find out. His lordship's watching this very closely. Very closely indeed. I wouldn't fumble this chance either, unless you fancy spending the rest of your career in some grotty Midlands back office shuffling paper about. Have you seen the report? In your trunk? On the international situation? I'd jolly well read it if I were you. No. He's with the protégé. Name of Heidelitz, I believe. The two spend a great deal of time in the Café Parisien. Nibbling pastries. Get into the wireless room. I don't know or care how. Officer Morrow wouldn't let me in. See if Zeitel's received or sent any telegrams about the Rubaiyat. You've got a cryptograph in your trunk. It'll unscramble the German codes for you. You use the brains God gave you. Watch people. Listen. When you find the Rubaiyat, knock on my door. Cabin F, 34. Use the second-class stairs. You should be set. Remember, this is your big chance. Don't fail. Try to intercept Zeitel's telegrams. Get inside the wireless room. Surely someone on board knows what he's up to. And don't forget the cryptograph in your trunk. It will unscramble the German codes. Most importantly, find the Rubaiyat. Meanwhile, I'll conduct my own investigation. Off with you now. Go!
Come here. Don't you love the sea air? Really clears out the sinuses. Max Seidelman, Philadelphia, PA. Buyer for Haymaker's department store. The Sharpie of Spruce Street, they call me. You a sporting type? You look like the sporting type. Come on down to the smoking room for a nightcap. Riviera's looking for someone to play a few hands of blackjack with him. What do you say? Not much else to do. Not tonight. Brr. Cold as a cast iron commode out here. So, what do you say? If that's the way you're gonna be, don't bother. Sheesh, just trying to be friendly. Some people. Look, I'm really not interested in talking. A card sharp. Me, Max Seidelman. Haymaker's head buyer.
Good evening. Third Officer Morrow here. I am sorry, but this is the officers' promenade. No passengers allowed. Yes, though the only thing to watch is the wireless room. They just keep bringing up more messages. Wireless telegraphy is all the rage these days. Not tonight, I'm afraid. I've got an uneasy feeling. Something seems wrong. Yes, very calm. No moon. I don't like that. Can't see what's coming. No moon means surprises, as if we don't have enough already. Mr. Ismay, the White Star Line's president's on board. We're walking eggshells round him, I tell you. Though that's nothing compared to the creeping about my brother-in-law's doing at the moment. His entire London office is in an uproar. Tom works in the Admiralty. Seems our plans for troop deployments against Germany disappeared 3 weeks ago. Tom says the big boys are petrified the Jerrys will get wind of it. Could upset the balance of power. Politics. Desktop espionage. Bureaucrats. Pah, give me the sea. You can toss the rest. You ask a lot of questions. Ones I don't want to answer. Never have. Not since the war. Then why are so many people thinking about it? South Africa. Boer War. The officer was a drinker. He was drunk when they trapped us out on the veldt. On a moonless night, it was a massacre. We never saw them coming. Drink always leads to the devil. An interesting connection. For all I know, it could be true. A man's got his troubles, sick child, being away from home. But I hate whiners and apologizers. Well, thank you for your insight. Have a look, why don't you? Mind you, Phillips will have my head if he catches you in there, but I don't see any harm. Go on in.
change your mind? Swell. There's a man there named Zeidel, a German. Claims he's a businessman. But he's got something up the sleeve, all right. I know the type, believe me. Dollars to donuts, he's in some racket. So come with, why don't you? I'll introduce you. Hey, Colonel, how you doing? Willie. Like you to meet a friend.
A pleasure. Heidelitz and I, we welcome diversion during such an uneventful passage, don't we, Willy?
Certainly.
Willy is at the University of Vienna, dissecting children's fables.
Cultural mythology, it's quite interesting. So only a junior professor, I tried to interest Dr. Freud. He's a genius, and
Yes, I am sure, quite. On the passenger list, it says you embarked at Cherbourg. Yet I have not seen you with the others. You were there, were you not? I see. You are British. Not so many of you in Titanic's first cabins. These days, most of the rich are Americans. Businessmen like Max. Tell me, why do you go to New York? Business. How interesting, considering the British are not so good at it. Me? Inspecting our embassies. Imperial Germany desires to make a good impression in North America. Willy is continuing on, to the west, to conduct research on Aboriginal customs.
the Indians, they are fascinating.
Yes, yes. However, I place faith in science, not superstition.
The Colonel was saying this wireless stuff's revolutionizing everything. Sending messages to each other. It's the end of books and newspapers.
Like the Titanic, a technological triumph. Here we dined in comfort while racing along at 20 knots. It's still tied to the outside world by the wireless.
That reminds me, Colonel Seidel, when I go to send you a telegram, they told me it was to be delayed. There are too many messages. The passengers...
I am sure our guests do not care to hear a detailed discussion of your encounter with telegraphy. Now, if you will excuse me...
Please, excuse us.
Won't you call on us tomorrow? Here, in the cafe. The Linzer Tort's quite passable for a British ship. Stop by. Willy and I welcome it most heartily.
Yes, most heartily.
And before I leave, you must allow me to give you some advice. Do not wander the ship. It is not good, I think, on a ship as big as the Titanic. Good night, friends.
Good night.
See? What did I tell you? What did I say? Them too. Up to something, I'd say. The brainy kid gives me the creeps. What a grind. He should hang out with that little blonde. She's a looker, I tell you. Come on, let's hit the smoking room. I'll introduce you to Riviera. What do you say? Okay, I'll be up in the smoking room if you change your mind. Goodbye.
decoded the message. Smashing. The boiler rooms. Blast. There's an entrance to the lower decks around here somewhere. Query the lift attendant. He's cheeky, but he knows this ship. Intercept the Rubaiyat before it changes hands.
I'm the lift attendant, and you'll not find one better at taking you where you want to go. Where to? Righty, I know every nook and cranny. The boiler rooms? Blimey! Passengers ain't allowed down there. Take the second-class stairs down to F deck. I fancy there's some stairs down from there. May I take you somewhere? At your service. Go to the second-class stairs in the back of the ship. Go to the very bottom. That'll be F deck. Follow the signs to the second-class cabins. Now where to? Very good then. Cheers.
A fine night to be indoors, cold as the dickens outside. Cold but clear. Clear as a bell, and the stars, oh, you should see 1,000,000 stars in God's firmament. A congregation of light. The name's Trout, the Reverend Edgar Trout. I'm returning from a mission in Africa, to Sunapee, New Hampshire, where I live. Emily, my wife. She's dead. Thank you. We had looked forward to this journey. but she died at Port Said. Though it was Nyasaland that killed her, the doctors, you know, never did find all the parasites. Calling on Miss Pringle? She has been invaluable this voyage, a pillar. Oh yes, we're very glad she's with us. Unlike the occultist Trask, tempting the passengers with his occult mysteries. Be wary of him. Trask's a trickster. Take this card, a prayer card, from my own collection. So you must like it, this section of the Titanic. Here, second class. You can get to Scotland Road from here. Do you know it? Scotland Road? Wait, before you leave, I was wondering, perhaps you'd care to make a donation to our mission in Nyasaland. Sorry to have bothered you. Perhaps another time. Good evening.
A passenger? I can't regulate the steam for boilers 1 and 2, so I don't have time for you. You're where you shouldn't be. Get up top, before you're kicked up there. Oh, I doubt it. She's really acting up. See? Still working the bugs out of her. See for yourself. Have at it. There's a gauge showing the turbine's power output. The needle's got to move into the green zone. Over here. Running much smoother now. Say, since you were so interested, go on, have a peek in the engine room. She's quite a sight.
You are a passenger. Excuse me, I would speak with you. Forgive me, I am sorry to intrude on you, a person of such high station. I am Vlad. I have many. I am leaving my home. I am a Serb and they have killed my wife, my children, the Austrians. For that they will pay. But I do not want to burden you. Please, I need a favor. I have a friend in first class, in cabin A14. Mr. Babicon has a package for me. Can you bring it here? Me enter first class like this? No, they would catch Vlad. His name is Barbican, in A14. Tell him you've come from Vlad. He will give you the package. I wait here for your return. Your assistance will be repaid manyfold.
Hello. Don't think we've met. I'm Leyland Sekum Trask, metaphysical scribe and evangelist for the supernatural. I've been in London attending a conference on premonitions among the sensitive. Sensitives, or psychics, possess increased powers of perception. A gifted psychic can take a personal effect from a complete stranger and tell you all about them. This is a ship of destiny, which I think you know. No emanations here. You know, a medium told me the only danger in my life would come on water. Salt or fresh, he did not say. Damn it all, I wish they'd be more specific. That pipe's been someplace quite humid recently. I'd visit the Turkish bath. Good luck. I'm sorry, I'm getting no reading at all. Not even faintly. The Reverend Trout's ministrations. He thinks I'm the devil incarnate. This will make someone a welcome gift, I sense. Good night.
found him. Sasha Barbican of Barbican Galleries. Now, what is it that I can help you with? For Vlad? He's on board? Please come in. He did it. I told him not to, told him I'd pay his ticket, but he was too proud. Such a tragedy about his family. They were with my mother's people. When Austria took Bosnia, they were killed. Many were. With his family dead, America seems as good a place as any for Vlad. Ask Vlad, I don't know. Here, his things. He'll be glad to get them. It's rather late. Good night. Enjoy your voyage.
Hello. In need of psychic consultation? Sorry, no signals from that at all. Good night.
Thank you. I have everything I need now. A successful day. While you were gone, I picked up something very important. So please, you must excuse me. I call on Mr. Barbican. I have very good news for him.
I say, what's your step?
Are you hurt, Henry?
No harm done. No harm.
I'm so sorry.
Trot on my toe.
We're the Goss Joneses from Haltwhistle, you know. How are you finding the crossing? You're English, then? I would have thought American. Oh, my. I didn't mean to insult you.
Can't hold a thought.
Dreadfully large place, America.
Brain like as if she's got...
All that space and all those immigrants trying to fill it up. I was just commenting to Henry, on a White Star crossing one meets all the right people. While we were just chatting with a delightful elderly couple in the reception. The Strausses, wasn't that right?
Own a small dry goods store in New York somewhere. Called Macy's.
On D-Deck.
Ribena, must you always finish my sentences? You're as jumpy as that American chap, that photographer.
Yes, he was just snapping away.
Taking pictures of some German colonel and that Englishman.
Snap, snap, snap.
War's coming all right, mark my words.
War? How beastly. Will Mr. Burns have to fight? He and his wife, such sweet things. But I do see her point. It is their honeymoon. Why he insists on snapping those photos, I haven't a clue.
For God's sake, woman, talk, like a madam in a Rangoon bawdy house.
Henry, that's unspeakable.
So don't speak then. Yaps louder than a scrum of rabid corgis. Now see here, this Burns chap.
If you want to see something interesting, take a look at his pictures. He's on C deck, cabin C, 78.
Did you get it? Did you find the Rubaiyat? Interesting, but we need evidence. No. If the Home Office hears of such lollygagging, your next mission's apt to be boiling water for the clerk's tea. We must have evidence. Something to connect this Barbican fellow to Zeitel. There is a photographer, a Mr. Burns, on board. He might have a photo of the two. Check with him.
Yes, can I help you? You found him. What do you want? I set up a small darkroom in my cabin. Well, unfortunately, I don't have time to show it to you. Gee, thanks, I think so. I wish Stephanie agreed with you. My wife's angry with me because I've spent more time with my camera than with her. She just doesn't understand that a photographer can't stop taking pictures even on his honeymoon. Have you seen Stephanie? She's wearing a blue hat. I better wait for her.
But my dear, it's Daisy Cashmore. Surely you remember. Oh, you are naughty thing. Don't think I didn't know you'd snuck on at Cherbourg. Smethels told me all about it. The old boy's always dripping with news. Heard about Lord and Lady Lambeth. Ruined utterly. Scarcely enough left for appearances, I'm told. I always liked Georgia. Married Charles for his name and his fortune, sensible girl. But she's made her nest. Now she must live in it. Well, my dear, I've a little favor. A tiny one. Tonight at dinner, a man I don't know was making eyes at me. Be an absolute darling and find out who he is. Look him up in the passenger list. All I know are his initials, GQC. The list's someplace. Find it. I'll wait right here. Ta!
You came after all this time. It's Georgia. I'd heard you on board. Where have you been? But it's Georgia. The one person you could tell anything to. You're just like the rest, aren't you? Like Charles, like Sasha. No emotion touches you, does it? It never did. You'd never let it. You're in on it too, aren't you, bastard?
Hello, what can I do for you? We aren't supposed to allow passengers on the bridge. We're not allowed to accept gifts from passengers. Company policy, you understand. I can't take that. Those are the rules. We're not allowed to accept gifts from passengers. Company policy, you understand. Good night.
Yes? The lounge is closed for the night. We'd open it again only in an emergency, which we are not experiencing at the moment. Good night. May I be of assistance? The purser. His office is on C deck, just off the forward grand stairs. The elevator, or lift as we call it, has an attendant who can direct you to various sections of the ship. The lifts are located behind the forward grand staircase. Before I forget, Lady Georgia desires to meet with you. She is outside on the A-deck promenade.
Good to see you again. Did you see Stephanie? She must really be sore with me. You've got pretty good advice. I'm going to find her right now. Excuse me. Good night.
Crikey, how'd you get here? Sorry, passengers aren't allowed to enter the cargo hold.
I say, what's your step?
Are you hurt, Henry?
No harm done. No harm.
I'm so sorry.
Trot on my toe.
We're the Gorse Joneses from Haltwhistle, you know. How are you finding the crossing? You're English, then? I would have thought American. Oh, my. I didn't mean to insult you.
Can't hold a thought.
Dreadfully large place, America.
Brain like as if she's got...
all that space and all those immigrants trying to fill it up. I was just commenting to Henry, on a white star crossing one meets all the right people. While we were just chatting with a delightful elderly couple in the reception. The Strausses, wasn't that right?
Own a small dry goods store in New York somewhere. Called Macy's.
On D-Deck.
Ribena, must you always finish my sentences? You're as jumpy as that American chap, that photographer.
Yes, he was just snapping away.
Taking pictures of some German colonel and that Englishman.
Snap, snap, snap.
War's coming all right, mark my words.
War? How beastly. Will Mr. Burns have to fight? He and his wife, such sweet things. But I do see her point. It is their honeymoon. Why he insists on snapping those photos, I haven't a clue.
For God's sake, woman, talk, like a madam in a Rangoon bawdy house.
Henry, that's unspeakable.
So don't speak then. Yaps louder than a scrum of rabid corgis. Now see here, this Burns chap.
If you want to see something interesting, take a look at his pictures. He's on C deck, cabin C, 78.
Yes, can I help you? I set up a small darkroom in my cabin. Well, unfortunately, I don't have time to show it to you. That's just what Stephanie says. My wife's angry with me because I've spent more time with my camera than with her. She just doesn't understand that a photographer can't stop taking pictures even on his honeymoon.
Have you seen Stephanie? She's wearing a blue hat.
Fanatic. You sure you don't know her? Good night. You again? Did you see Stephanie? She must really be sore with me. You've got pretty good advice. I'm going to find her right now. Excuse me. Good night.
Did you get it? Did you find the Rubaiyat? Smashing. What have you learned? More art? Zeitel's no connoisseur. No, there's something about that painting of interest to the German High Command. I don't have any information about Vlad, but the other fellow, look here. Zeitel's Titanic contact is a London art dealer named Sasha Barbican. They say he smuggles art, and he's not above selling stolen merchandise. The files say he's Serbian, interestingly enough, with links to some shady Balkan groups. No. If the Home Office hears of such lollygagging, your next mission's apt to be boiling water for the clerk's tea. Find anything else? Quite significant. This man, here with Zeitel. That's Barbican. I'll keep this. Good work. The painting's what Zeitel's really after. You must secure it. Where or how, I don't care. Just find it and bring it back here. Check the purser. He might know where the painting is stored. Sneak a peek at his cargo manifest. That should help you find the painting. Cargo stored somewhere beneath the forecastle deck. Things are thickening up quite nicely, aren't they? We've got to get our hands on that painting. Don't fail.
He don't want no passengers down here. I'd be in a right big mess if he caught you sniffing around. Thanks for the help, but the boss, he don't want no passengers down here. I'd be in a right big mess if he caught you sniffing around.
Oh, what do you want? Why, what do you know? Not that it matters. I'm much too busy. I must get this message through from Mr. Thayer. Mr. Thayer expects his private train car to meet him in New York, and I can't leave my post. But I need to send this telegram. Help? Yes, it might be helpful if you delivered this message to the wireless room for me. Even better, why don't you send it for me? Mr. Thayer is a very important man. So send the telegram at once. And when you have, don't forget to tell me. Perhaps, as purser, I'm in charge of the Titanic's passengers. Certainly not. The manifest is the purser's. Only I look at the manifest. Have you a name? If you do, I can tell you their cabin number. Let me check. Aha, Mr. George Quincy Clifford, A27. I live to serve. Very good, then.
You came after all this time. It's Georgia. I'd heard you on board. Where have you been? It's been 5 years. I'd have waited a lot longer to see you again. Why didn't you tell me where you'd gone? Dina hadn't a clue, nor did Jack. My letters were returned. Just like you to show up now, with everything such a beastly mess. You must help me. You've no doubt heard the rumors. I won't deny most of them. I can't. Even if the money's gone, I won't give the diamonds to Charles, never. These are all that remains. My insurance for a new life without Charles or Saoirse. Saoirse, the owner of the Barbican Gallery? We're friends, of a sort. He's sailing on the Titanic, taking some paintings to New York to sell. Please. I mustn't talk any longer. Take it. Take the necklace. It's my only chance now. Keep it for me. And don't tell Charles you have it. You can't know what he's like.
Quick. I've tracked Zeitel and Sasha to the ship's stern. They're having a rather heated conversation. See if you can listen in. I'll track their movements.
Excuse me, but I have not seen my friend in such a long time. There's a lot we must discuss, privately. Good night.
Cold night. I think you'd be more comfortable inside, don't you?
Please, this conversation, it is an important one. Excuse me, but I have not seen my friend in such a long time. There's a lot we must discuss, privately. Good night.
It worked as you said. I have it. The Rubaiyat's mine.
I hope you appreciate it.
More so the profit it brings.
What will you do with it?
There's an American tycoon who collects rare manuscripts. He'll pay a fortune and ask no questions. But there's just one problem, Colonel.
Which is?
There's a third party on board. An agent working against you. Against us.
How do you know?
My servant who retrieved the Rubaiyat encountered them.
We should take precautions.
What about the painting? Did your associate bring it up from the cargo hold?
No, I don't have it.
No? But I put it there myself.
Sasha, I've discovered a traitor. Don't look so startled. It is not you.
You mean Hadelitz, your associate?
No longer my associate, I am afraid. Willy was an intellectual, and intellectuals aren't smart enough for espionage. Now, I must recover the painting and its plans. I fear this third party may already have possession of it.
And Hadelitz?
Thank you for asking. Willy will bring no further harm to the fatherland, I assure you. Let us plan.
I knew you'd come. Charles received a telegram from the solicitors. Our estate's to be sold off. He asked about the necklace I gave you. I told him I left it with a purser. Don't say anything to him or Sasha. Not him and his group of... Oh, there's much more to tell you. Can you meet me in my stateroom? I'm in B70. It's Charles' custom to go for a drink in the smoking room. When he does, visit me.
Yes, can I help you? You sent it? Marvelous. I was afraid you'd forgotten. Mr. Thayer'll be most grateful. And let them think the purser's not doing his job. I am the purser, and as purser, I am the one who looks after the passengers. Mr. Thayer is vice president of the Pennsylvania Railroad, and it is I who shall inform the Thayers that their train will be waiting. So, if you'll excuse me.
Does the purser have some keys that can get you into the cargo hold?
Yes, can I help you? Away, go away, I'm too busy. Mr. Isidore Strauss, he's lost a cufflink, and he's so particular. How should I know? There's more than enough passengers on this ship to keep me hopping. Old Mr. Strauss could make things very difficult. Yes, very difficult. Thank you. It is a gold cufflink. Mr. Strauss will be very grateful. Yes, can I help you? That's all then, is it? Yes, can I help you? Yes, indeed, all jewels go right in the safe. We really don't make a practice of storing personal effects. I'm sure that item will be safe with you. Perhaps. As purser, I'm in charge of the Titanic's passengers. Have you a name? If you do, I can tell you their cabin number. Mr. and Mrs. Strauss, I certainly couldn't give such information out to someone like you. I live to serve. Very good, then.
Sorry, passengers aren't allowed to enter the cargo hold. They tell me first-class passengers, the Carters, come down here. They've a motor car in the hold. I haven't seen them, but if anyone shows me those car keys, I'm told to let them pass.
Enter. I wasn't sure you'd come. First, I want to know how you fared these last years. Rather well from the looks of you. I'm glad to see you. You're the only person I can trust. Please promise me you'll help. You always were there when I needed you. Now, with my life a horrible mess. When Charles discovered my affair with Saoirse, he was quite calm. But I know him, you see. His revenge is taking the necklace, leaving me with nothing. And Saoirse, I'd never trust him again. Don't you see? They're looking for guns, for bombs. At a party last June, Saoirse was quite passionate. A Slavic trait, I'm told. His mother came from Belgrade. I fell in love. We used to meet at his gallery, but we were never alone. They'd come at all hours. Saoirse's friends. His gallery was their London base. They were rough men, foreign. Saoirse told me they were part of a Balkan aid society. Stupid girl that I was, I believed him. But then I found out. These people, they... Charles!
Please, Georgia, continue. Was it my title or my income you found so desirable? I was never sure. Now that both assets are depleted, why don't you go to Saoirse? Maybe he can help, as he's done before.
Ignore him. I see the smoking room's had its usual effect.
Idle gossip, apparently.
You see his attitude? Please, go.
Since she obviously can't depend on me. Here, take the chill out of the air. Thank you for seeing after my wife. Now I think it best you leave the happy couple, drowning in their happiness. Good night.
Remember, I need your help.
Good night.
Hunting for a cufflink for the purser? Glory be! What about your mission?
Evening, I'm the lift attendant. And you'll not find one better at taking you where you want to go. Where to? Righty, I know every nook and cranny. Take my lift to D deck. Leave me and turn right. You'll see the D deck cabins ahead of you. Enter. At the corridor's end, make a left. The first door to your right takes you down to the squash court. Little late for a game, aren't it? May I take you somewhere? Mind the gate. Did you attend a party last night on D deck? Seen the Lady Georgia, did you? Noticed those diamonds round her neck? A bloke will be set up with those, and her. Pity she's unhappy. Her husband always arguing with her, like just now. She's on to poop deck. As far away from that husband of hers as you can get. Almost there.
Hello there. You again. You'll never guess who I saw earlier. The man himself, Isidore Strauss, the owner of Macy's department store, standing right over there. Haymakers is a fine shop, but Macy's, man, that's the big store. But just as I was readying myself to make an introduction, he leaves. You seen him? At the foot of the stairs with his wife. Let me know if you see him, will you?
Please, I must apologize. Charles, you see how 'tis. We quarreled again. I left for a walk. The smoking room, probably. Or looking for my necklace, if he can see straight. They stole something valuable. What, I don't know. Sosh to sell it secretly in America. I told him it was immoral. He laughed, telling me I, who married for position, shouldn't quibble about morality. Said if I told anybody, he'd publicize our affair and ruin me. So I said nothing, though I'm afraid they'll do something horrible with all that money. Take good care of my necklace. Return it to me in New York. We'll be there soon enough. There, together. Good night.
Yes, can I help you? Wonderful. Mr. Strauss will be quite pleased that I found his cufflink. I shall deliver it at once. I'm just sure his gratitude will be reflected most generously.
Nobody's allowed to... You've got the keys. You're a carter. Of course you can enter. Right this way. Come to visit your new automobile, have you? Can't say I blame you. She's a beauty. Gleaming like a new penny. Right this way. Mind your head, it's dark in there. You'll find your way from here.
a peek at your motor car, are you? Bet she drives right nice.
Did you get the painting? Blast. Someone got there before you. If only you'd been faster. That snooty steward Smethels was looking for you. Find him and kick him smartly in the shins. Here's a message for you.
Still wondering? This ship holds a strange fascination for you. Most peculiar. I have a message from a young German gentleman by the name of Heidelitz. He would like to meet you in the squash court. They've opened it for him. Highly irregular, I must say, especially for fencing. Surely he is. The percentage of passengers demanding the courts late on a Sunday night is small. Minuscule, actually. Yes, apparently he does not favor racket sports. If memory serves me, there is an entrance to the squash courts on D-deck. Meanwhile, I shall inform the young German gentleman that you will meet him presently.
Did you get the painting? Blast. Someone got there before you. If only you'd been faster. That snooty steward Smethels was looking for you. Find him and kick him smartly in the shins. Here's a message for you.
I had advised you against it. Young people, they listen to no one nowadays. May I help you in your search? I am looking for something as well. Willy von Hedelitz has been most irresponsible. He has disobeyed me and misplaced a favorite painting, one destined for the German embassy. A faux pas of the first magnitude. A rather charming street scene by a young Viennese painter. For someone with insomnia, you ask quite a lot of questions. What did you say your profession was? As I have observed, stay away from German business. Germany wants land, industries, and material, and we will fight to get it. Britain and America will try to stop this, but we will know your plans. And if there's war, Germany will win. But enough politics. This has been such a civilized voyage so far. Let us meet tomorrow in the cafe, yes? The band? They play Strauss so well. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.
Where to? I'm the man to ask. Take my lift to D-Deck. Leave me and turn right. You'll see the D-Deck cabins ahead of you. Enter. At the corridor's end, make a left. The first door to your right takes you down to the squash court. Little late for a game, aren't it? Where do you need to go? Suit yourself. Good night.
Thank you for coming. I do not meet so many people on the Titanic. It is a pity. I like the English. I wish I knew more of them. Now you have the opportunity of fencing with me. 3-time champion of my university. You are also an excellent athlete, yes? Colonel Seidel believes it so. The Colonel is very seldom confused about anything. You will play. If you win, perhaps, I relate to you some stories. En garde. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y. Et là. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons. Allez. Touchez. Allons. Et là. You are the loser. How unfortunate. The Titanic, how quickly she is moving. The engines are loud here. We are nearing the Grand Banks. The Vikings thought this part of the North Atlantic cursed. Even modern sailors call it the Devil's Hole, a place of deadly surprises. Things aren't always what they seem, yes? Like me, for example, I am German, but I am also a friend to others. Perhaps even the English. Another match? Afterwards we can tell more tales. Another match? En garde. Allez. Et là. Allons. Ah, verdammt. Allez. Ah. Allons. Ah. Allons. Sehr gut. Allons. Et là. Allez, touchez. Allons-y. Et là. Allons. Ah, verdammt. You fence well. You are a great athlete. Why do you assume he is interested in paintings? Yes. Art. That is what I meant. And you are mistaken. Colonel Seidel cares little for art, unlike his friend Herr Barbicon. I notice he likes old Vienna, for he has many pictures of the city. You do? Remember, only one thing is certain, and the rest is lies. It is a quote from an old book I had the recent opportunity to read. But I tell you more. I am associate professor at the University of Vienna. I document the mythos, the legends of mankind. I'm on my way to New Mexico to study the Yoni Indians under Dr. van der Plaars. I am interested in what Dr. Freud calls the unconscious mind, what happens below the surface of experience. Tell me, what frightens you more, fire or ice? The ancient Aryans believed man would see 4 ages. According to them, this is now the Wolf Age, an age that ends with ice. Perhaps we of science might learn from it. They say the ice is heavy in the Labrador Current this year. If the fire comes, my friends will favor the English over Germany. Another match? Oh. Allons. Ah. Allons. Touchez. Allons-y. Et là. Et là. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y. Ah. Allons. Ah. Allez. Sehr gut. Allez. Touchez. Very good. You have proven yourself, and I must confide in you. Colonel Seidel suspects I fail my friends more than Germany. He's right. Another match? En garde. Allez. 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 Et là. Allons-y. Et là. Sehr gut. Allez. Et là. Allez. Allez. Ah, verdammt. You are a great athlete. Take this in friendship. May it bring you luck. A thing I fear we shall all need. But if anything should happen to me, I trust you will know what to do. Another match? Let us meet later. I will tell you more. For now, keep the ring. I bid you good night.
What did our young Mr. Hadelitz want? Hadelitz's ring. Maybe Trask can tell you more about it. Their partnership appears to be dissolving. Who else knows young Hadelitz? Talk to anyone who may have seen him. I'll see if I can dig something up on him. Finally, you're on the right trail. Follow those leads.
I say, how are you getting on?
Getting on? We use gangplanks, if I remember.
Quick as a cow, she is. Seen Guggenheim about?
Such a gentleman, extremely attentive to the ladies.
Especially his mistress. They say he stashed her on board somewhere.
Really, Henry? Not Mr. Guggenheim?
The Titanic's not a damned rectory, you know.
But Henry...
Quite the randy old goat from what I hear.
My goodness, I've forgotten completely. I have a message for you. Mr. Trask in D2 said you were to meet him where honor and glory crown time. Where honor and glory crown time? What do you think he meant? Good night.
Evening. Where to? Suit yourself. Good night.
You've arrived. I was expecting you. I was just holding court with these two ladies. Honor and glory. Crowning time. They say 100 wood carvers worked on the Titanic. Such effort. Now in such danger. Yes, for the ship. And for a mutual acquaintance. I see your friend, Willy von Haderlitz. He is in very great danger. The ring. Yes, did you notice the Russian characters on the inside band? Willie has a hidden life. There's a girl, a pretty girl. Haderlitz knows her. Show her the ring. She'll help you. Good luck. Perhaps an officer should see these. Not a bad photograph. That's Willy von Hederlitz, is it not? That man is hiding something. He is desperate. I visited with a very nice woman in second class, a Mrs. Hart. Won't sleep a wink at night, she says, because something dreadful is about to happen. She believes to call this ship unsinkable flies in the face of God, and such arrogance will be punished. She should join the Bureau. Good night.
You seen Hadelitz's gal, Clarice Limehouse? She must have a cabin on D-deck, near reception. And could I receive her in a New York minute? Willie's girl's got some class to her. Main line all the way. Somewhere's on D-deck. Willie came by here earlier. Good night.
Yes? You want something?
FBI, open up!
It's Willie's ring. Willie, what's happened? Something bad, hasn't it? Something to Willie. He told me if I ever received this ring, I was to know that whoever gave it to me was a friend, and to tell them about the notebook, that they should find it. Willie's hidden a notebook on board, that's all I know. Now what about Willie? Is he hurt? Oh, he told me jokes. Bad ones, but he made me laugh. Not like Mama's friends. Mama, she doesn't like Germans, unless they've a title to their name. But I like Willie a lot. May I have it? The ring? Yes. Yes, of course you need it. Please. Willie's in trouble. Please help him if you can.
Quickly, there's not much time. Willie Hadelitz is dead, electrocuted in the Turkish bath. I heard one of the officers talking about it. This may not have been an accident. Apparently, someone wants that painting badly enough to kill for it. Do you have it? A notebook. Zeitel's previous mission was aiding a band of Russian revolutionaries called Bolsheviks who want to overthrow the Tsar. The Germans would like nothing better than to see chaos in Russia. I'll bet that notebook's got names of Russian radicals. Such a list would be very important to the Okhrana, the Russian secret police. With it, they'd root out the Bolshevik ringleaders and eliminate a threat to the Tsar, which would certainly help the rest of us. Not doing so well, are you? Someone must have taken the painting before you got there. Young Heidelitz, a Tsarist spy? It's beginning to become clear. Quite possibly. We need more information about the murder. If Heidelitz was murdered, you'll need protection. Here, this pen releases a single burst of knockout gas when opened. Find that notebook. It could be vitally important. Go investigate the situation at the Turkish bath. Move.
Most regrettable. Most regrettable indeed. The young German gentleman, dead. In the electric bath. Quite unanticipated. He was alive. Most vocally, too, just a few hours before, arguing with someone on B deck. The gentleman's voice was unfamiliar. About a painting. He'd misplaced it. And the other gentleman wanted to know where it was. Yes, I believe Dr. O'Loughlin is waiting to move him, so as not to alarm the other passengers. It is, I must warn you, a most unpleasant sight. Very good. This is most irregular. Most irregular indeed.
What have you heard? Anything? Tell me. You knew him? Look. Don't breathe a word to anyone. This was just a simple accident. Ismay is going to raise hell when he hears. And I thought this would be an easy trip. Talk to Smethels, his steward. Say the man came down here after using the squash courts. Be my guest. Mind you, it's not pretty. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Willie Hadelitz is dead. I suspect foul play with our Colonel Zeitel, the main suspect. But this clue you found, I can't make head nor tail of it. Perhaps Trask can help. Off with you now. Go!
Fancy meeting you again.
Snooping about the decks again? What fun.
Oh, Henry, snooping. Really? Such dreadful taste.
Reminds me of that chap Burns, that photographer who took pictures of the ship.
You should look him up. He's on sea deck. He has such a lovely wife, too.
I say it's late. Must run. Goodbye.
Can you feel it? The air has changed. It's clammy, cold, like the ice caves in the Eiger. But you're not here about climatology. What do you want? Certainly. A passage from the Rubaiyat. Many knots unravel could mean a rope. Complete the rest of the verse and you'll find your answer. Good luck. I don't think his death was an accident. He has double-crossed the Colonel. That may help you. The Titanic was never christened. Very bad luck for a ship. They say that when building her, a worker was entombed in the hull. And though we've 2,000 on board, the Titanic is only half full. The world's wealthiest men, Henry Clay Frick, J.P. Morgan, the Vanderbilts, canceled their trip. They know when to listen to their gut. The vibrations of the astral plane are quite strong. Whatever happens will be quite interesting. Goodbye. I'll be here if you need me.
Willie Hadelitz is dead. I suspect foul play with our Colonel Zeitel, the main suspect. But this clue you found, I can't make head nor tail of it. Perhaps Trask can help. Off with you now. Go!
What now? Another clue? A gas pen, how clever. Don't point it at me. Goodbye. I'll be here if you need me.
I've got even more photos. Look at
Eric, who's at the door?
Stephanie. She's still sore. I want to get her a gift, you know, but it's too late.
Eric!
Got anything Stephanie'd like? I'll trade you. These photos for something for Steffi. What a nice thought for a new bride. Thanks. Here, take my picture. It's a man peering out from the last smokestack.
Eric, come to bed.
Coming, pumpkin. Good night.
God has moved his mighty hand against the wicked. Gambling, lewdness, and a mixing of the classes are repaid with fire. You have heard the news? Young Hadelitz has gone to meet his maker. Or someone else, eh? We can only speculate, can't we? They say the electric bath has never malfunctioned before. Believe me, it wasn't the voltage, but the cleansing work of the Lord. We really must talk about a contribution for the mission. God needs your help. Thank you so much. I will call on you tomorrow. Good evening.
Passengers aren't allowed on the bridge. Officer Morrow's in no mood to accommodate passengers right now. He's misplaced his binoculars, and he's in a right proper state about it too. Off with you now.
I think you've seen enough. Seaman, check course. Now I remember why passengers aren't allowed on the bridge.
Willie Hadelitz is dead. I suspect foul play with our Colonel Zeitel, the main suspect. But this clue you found, I can't make head nor tail of it. Perhaps Trask can help. Off with you now. Go!
What now? Another clue? Goodbye. I'll be here if you need me.
I've got to go. Bye.
Daisy Cashmore. Surely you remember. Oh, you a naughty thing. Don't think I didn't know you'd snuck on at Cherbourg. Smethels told me all about it. The old boy's always dripping with news. Heard about Lord and Lady Lambeth. Ruined utterly. Scarcely enough left for appearances, I'm told. I always liked Georgia. Married Charles for his name and his fortune, sensible girl. But she's made her nest. Now she must live in it. Well, my dear, I've a little favor. A tiny one. Tonight at dinner, a man I don't know was making eyes at me. Be an absolute darling and find out who he is. Look him up in the passenger list. All I know are his initials, GQC. The list's someplace. Find it. I'll wait right here. Ta! Did you get it? Get his name? You're such a tease. You don't have one at all? Try the purser's office. He'll have one. Did you get it? Get his name? You're such a tease. You don't have one at all? Try the purser's office. He'll have one. Did you get it? Get his name? No, you haven't found a passenger list. Try the purser's office. He'll have one.
must apologize. Charles, you see how 'tis. We quarreled again. I left for a walk. Take good care of my necklace. Return it to me in New York. We'll be there soon enough. There, together. Good night.
Evening, I'm the lift attendant. And you'll not find one better at taking you where you want to go. Where to? Righty, I know every nook and cranny.
May I be of assistance? Miss Pringle may have an idea. She is quite opinionated. Her room is F34, that's F deck, in the second class. Very good. We of the White Star Line hope that your stay on board Titanic is as relaxing as possible. As you explore the ship, please bear in mind the following advice. The mouse is your hands. Remember, you may always call.
Willie Hadelitz is dead.